the Flags for Vets over there is looking and trying to get water for East Palestine. So if you can, they do have a Cash App and a Venmo where you can put money on it to allow them to get aid to East Palestine, Ohio. Not over in Israel, here. So, all right, Coach, it's a hard act to follow because he's 100% right. And there may be 64 patriot groups out there. There's 98 militias in the state of Ohio. None of them talk to each other. None of them communicate. None of them even work together. Because they all have different agendas. And none of them really know how they're supposed to be organized. So the thing is he's right. We have to start communicating. We have to start working together. And if we don't, then you're not going to have anything, because when shit hits the fan, it isn't because we started it, it's because they started it. Because they are already starting it. And if you haven't figured that out, you're not seeing on news, they're killing people across this country a lot. So thousands of people are going missing. So there's a lot that we can talk about. When you talk about the DEI, you can talk about the woke agenda, whatever. But all it is like the coach was saying, we have to start communicating, coming up one idea, and working together to accomplish that. If we stay divided, because we got some people over here saying, well, I don't like this guy, he's got an ego, I don't want to talk to him, I'm not working with them. They go over there and say, this guy's not real, this one is. But yet they're not actually looking at what is it for. It's for all of us to provide community service and security to our state and our communities.
Amen.
So if we don't want that, keep doing what you're doing. Election, and that's it. Because then you'll be on your knees waiting and asking and praying for help, and it's not going to come. And like he said, unity, that's the big thing. We have to come together. We have to communicate.
That's right.
And as I was saying before when I was up here, communication is the most important thing. Start the communication, you can start working on everything else. But you got to start communicating. So if you know somebody, you just met them here this weekend, talk to them, trade information, get it going. And spread the news. Because there's a lot of stuff going. I don't care what militia group you're with, but if you're not communicating with the other ones, and like I said, there's 98 in Ohio. That is ridiculous. There should be one.
Amen.
One only. That's what our Constitution states.
United we stand!
That's right. The reasons why is because most people don't understand the words that are in that document.
That's right.
And that's the thing that everybody's got to go for. Like I said before, you have never learned about it, don't know what it means, or you think you know what it means, still, go to Hillsdale College, take their online courses. They're free. Doesn't cost you anything but time. You got plenty of time. Read it. Listen to it. Keep going over it 2-3 times. Absorb what they're telling you. Because as much as you think you know about the Constitution, I can guarantee you, you're going to find out it's not exactly the way you think it is.
That's right.
It's a lot different. But we do have to be active. We cannot be just sitting there and going protesting. We have to stop these people from doing what they're doing. But if you're going to start doing that, such as Virginia, when they had their protest down there at their capital, that was probably, it was exciting in one way, but it was devastating in another. If they really wanted to affect this government, like I stated, I told them not to do it. Only Virginians go there. Everybody else go to their own capitals at the same time. You got 50, 60,000 people going to each capital in all 50 states. The government would have listened.
That's right.
But instead, they got wrangled around in a little pen down in Virginia. And if they wanted to go up to the Capitol, they had to give up their guns. And a lot of them did.
Oh my gosh.
So I would say that was same as January 6th. The feeling was right, but the action was wrong. If you're going to storm a Capitol and fix it, then you better be ready to make sure that all the governments are the other state governments are taken care of first.
can
You know,
go
it's
there
just like when you
storm
get
it.
stopped and you got 12 cops to show up. 12 cops from all different districts, whatever, come up and show up to you. They can shock and awe. You know, that's what we need to do, but we need to make sure that our community comes together and does what they need to do in their community, and every other community does it. So if you communicate and you organize, have capital protests, but do it at the same time in all 50 states, and I can guarantee you the government's going to blink. They're going to blink good, because you can't just stop at the protest. You got to make the grievance and be willing to pull the trigger.
That's right.
Because if you ain't willing to pull the trigger, what you're saying don't mean jack.
That's gonna get us shut down.
So it's going to get worse before it gets better. Trump can get in office. I hope he does. But I can tell you this. What happened the last time he went out? All of his executive orders gone. Why? Because they're not law. So if he can go in there and do all executive orders again, it's going to be good for 4 years, that's all. You got 4 years to get your butts together, get communication going, get organized, and get the movement going. Because after that 4 years, you won't have a chance to reorganize and commit. Because I can guarantee you this left, this evil organization, is not going to give you a chance to breathe again. You will be done after he's gone, if he makes it in office. God willing, he will. Saying they're not done with him. They tried once, they'll try again. They will not stop until he's gone, because they know what it means, because he's going to go after them. And he's not just going after the politicians, he's going after the dark state that's behind those politicians. Because none of those politicians are smart enough to do any of this crap they're doing. It's all from people behind them, pushing them, paying them to do it. So we got to make sure that they hear us. And if they're going to hear us, they're not going to hear you standing in Washington, D.C. You could have 1 million people there. They won't cover it, or they'll cover a third of it, and they'll say there's not that many people there. They're going to downplay it. But they can't hide 1 million people in every state capital with guns, with the option, with the grievance to say, you either step down now, or we'll do it for you. That's the Second Amendment. That's the Declaration of Independence. Alter or abolish. If you ain't, we've already tried altering. What's that done? What's an election done? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. You get nothing but more problems. Now we've got Republicans and Democrats looking at just getting rid of all assault weapons. What's an assault weapon? I got a pencil, it can be an assault weapon.
I got these bad boys right
There's
here.
an assault weapon. So how are they going to ban it? What did our founding fathers do the very first time in Concord when they went and they said, hey, we want your guns? Anybody know the history of that? Go ahead.
Major Buster, he shouted.
Yep, shot heard around the world.
Fire as fast as you can.
Yep. They say they don't know who's fired the first shot, but does it matter? Really don't. Because they both started shooting. But the Americans, at that point, said no. We're not going to do it no more. We're not going to let you, just gone too far. Well, they've been confiscating our weapons for decades. They've been abusing our children for a decade or two. And it's gotten really bad in this last decade. And it's ridiculous. And what we're fighting and our differences with each other are petty. Petty. And we're letting that keep us from coming together and going after the people that we should be. As Coach said, never denounce Jesus Christ. Like I told you before, I am a Knights Templar. I did take the blood oath. I am a warrior of Jesus Christ. I will not sheathe my sword until evil is dead. That is a guarantee. It's been drawn and it will collect blood. I am not going to stop. They can keep me down and I'll keep going. But one person, two people on a team, right, Coach, cannot carry the whole team. Everybody must come together. Everybody must be willing to sacrifice. Because that sacrifice is going to mean a whole lot to your kids and your grandkids. because that's what you're doing it for. Because our time of life and freedom, we've enjoyed what little we've had, and it's almost over. Our children have barely even gotten to know what it's like. I mean, if you want to know what freedom really is like, go ride a bike down a highway with no vehicles on it and feel that freedom. Go get onto a boat, go on the lake when there's no boats, just drive wherever you want to drive. That feeling you have when you're operating that, that's what freedom actually feels like. There's no restrictions, nobody watching over you, nobody telling you can't do it. But we have to do something, and we can't wait. So you got a chance. Trump gets in office, you got 4 years to get your shit together. You can't be sitting there saying, well, Trump will fix it. Trump can't fix it. He doesn't have that authority. It's not in the Constitution. The only thing he can do is executive order, and that's not law, because as soon as he's out, it's gone. You got 4 years, if he gets in office, for you to organize, train, communicate, set it up. And once he's out, you see stuff going bad, that's when you come together and you take care of the problem. But the only thing you're going to do is go to a voting booth and hit that tab or pull that number. You might as well just go out there and lay down and let a truck run over you, because it's the same result. It doesn't do jack. Hasn't done anything in the last 20 years, it ain't going to do anything now. And they're so arrogant, they're even telling people what they're doing. Everything that comes out of a politician's mouth is a lie. So why are we believing anything they say? Because they're Republicans? Because half these Republicans won't go after the Democrats and put them in jail because their closet's full of skeletons just like theirs. And the only people who benefit from all these issues are the corporations, the news media, and the politicians. Because how many politicians you know, after 4 or 5 years, are millionaires already, making $150-some thousand a year? Explain how that works. They're not supposed to be making that much money. They're not even supposed to be making 150. They're not even supposed to be career politicians. That's the problem. Career politicians. If they followed the Constitution, we wouldn't have these corrupt politicians, because they wouldn't be in office long enough to do anything. Lobbyists wouldn't be able to lobby them because, hey, this guy's only going to be here for 3 or 4 years. What's he going to do? One term, that's it. Then somebody else is going to do it, and I got to offer them more. It ain't going to be worth it. They go away. You know, I noticed a lot of this stuff happening when I started going to college, and they started having political science degrees. I was like, okay, how is that going to work? Who goes to college to get a degree to be a politician when you're not supposed to be a career at it? It's not supposed to be a career. Millions of people are millionaires because of it now. But you guys got, like I said, you got 4 years if he gets in office, do something about it. And if you don't, well, there's a lot of us that tried and laid it down and died because of it. And they'll mean nothing. But you guys got to get together. You got to explain things to each other, that you care about the country, you care about future generations, and that's what you're going to be working towards. It's not if this person's got an ego because he's a commander in a militia. Who cares? He's no different than I am. They're no different. I'm no different than anybody else. But I just made a promise. I wasn't going to stop. I wasn't going to lay down. I wasn't going to shut up. And I can tell you this is how bad it is. 98 militias in this country, in this state alone, and I have been threatened more, my life has been threatened more by conservatives than I have by lefts. Because the left won't even say anything when I confront them, they just leave. Conservatives fight. Oh, we don't like the way you think. We don't like what you're saying. Well, it's constitutional, and if you don't like it, prove me wrong. I dare anybody to prove me wrong, because you can't. And if you want to, I'll be more than eager to learn and to listen. Because I know I don't know everything. I learn every day. But I do know this. I do know our Constitution. I do know what we're supposed to be, and that's a constitutional republic. It is not a democracy. It is not a democratic republic. It is not a democratic constitution. It is a constitutional republic, a Republican form of government. And that is different than a democracy. But we hear everybody say democracy. I'm sick of the word, actually.
Me too.
It doesn't deserve to be spoken. And every time we hear a politician, regardless if we like him or not, says that word democracy, you ought to hit him with it. We're not a democracy. It don't matter if he's your favorite politician. When they say something wrong, you call them on it. How are they going to learn?
That's right.
Because they don't know everything. Just because they got all that money and they're up there and that fame and they're standing up there on the TV and they're getting paid by their government, oh, they're all knowing. The government knows they can fix it. They're Republicans, they'll fix it. They know about as much about the Constitution and how it's supposed to operate as the left. Because if they did, you'd see chairs being thrown, shoes being thrown, fights breaking out in Congress when they started arguing. I have more respect for the Filipino Congress than I do for ours. Because over there, they'll start fights. They'll go after each other. That shows patriotism. Here, we're supposed to have a galley in ours to where the normal citizens can sit up there
That's right.
and shout insults at our elected officials when they say something wrong. Do they allow us to do that anymore?
Nope.
No. They arrest you for doing that when it's the Constitution. That's exactly why that was put up there. So we, the people, could look at them and speak down to them when they were wrong. But people just got lazy and they said, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. I get in trouble. I'll go to jail. So I'm just going to not do it. Because as long as it doesn't affect me, I don't care. Sooner or later it's going to affect you. Then by the time it does, you're going to look around for help.
That's right.
And they're all going to be gone. Because they wanted your help before and you didn't help them. Now they can't be there to help you. So it's about time that as people, we the people, did what Coach said. Start communicating. Start getting together in that huddle. Start working together and get this plan formulated because it is coming. It is right around the corner. The war has already started. The bloodshed is already started. The enemy is within the wire.
Amen.
And we got a choice. We either can fight or we can argue. Frankly, I'd rather fight because I'm tired of arguing.
Amen.
I'm about ready. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rob. A couple of quick announcements. We're bringing Big B back up. Bingo tonight, 7 o'clock. That's over in the vendor hall. $5 a card, 4 cards for $15, and it's a 50-50 split. Bingo, 7 o'clock. Cornhole, coming up in just a little bit, 4 p.m., $10 a person out in the grass area. Right out there. So if you want to get in that, and it looks like, just like schools these days, everybody gets a prize. And then the auction is starting down in the vendor hall at 3:30. So you're going to talk, and I have one more after you, and then we're going to go do auctions. 10-4 driver.
I don't know if you guys even want to hear me anymore, but I got
Would
a
do.
couple other words to say.
We always want to hear you, Big D.
I feel as if this country is more worried about what gender you are. These other countries out there are preparing for war. The United States is trying to figure out what gender you are, what animal you are for today. That's a problem. That's what the teachers in your schools are teaching our kids. I'll guarantee you, Mr. Legend,
That's right.
my 1-year-old little boy will never see the public school.
Amen.
And I encourage every other parent out there to shut it down.
That's right.
They're indoctrinating your children, turning them against our country, turning them against our freedom, turning them against America as a whole, as what we was born to be. Our forefathers are rolling over in their graves. Right there in Washington, D.C., where Ashley Babbitt's mom stands every night for a vigil for our J6ers.
Free J6!
Every single day. How many days, Sherry?
August 1st will be our 2-year anniversary of the J6 Vigil in D.C.
August 1st.
Every single
2 years. Every single day.
Rain, snow, sleet, hail, it don't matter.
You see this bracelet right here? You might not be able to read it, but it says, "Justice for Ashley is justice for all."
That's right.
I want y'all to know that Ashley Babbitt served our country. I don't know if you guys know that.
Multiple combat tours.
She's an American hero. She died that day on January 6th for our country, trying to make a change in our country.
That's right.
And the DC, I wish I could change my shirt right now. I have her shirt. The DC police shot and killed her. Roseanne Boylan died that day. A lot of people don't even know. It's time to wake up, America. See what's going on in your country. Not just in DC, in your state. Everywhere. We need to stand up. We need to come together. I'm putting a call to action again right now. Let's come together. There's all the names. There they are.
79 J6 Patriots from Ohio. Which one of you have stood up for them? They stood up for you that day. Where's your voice for them? Many of them are
The time
still
is
in
now.
jail.
The time is now. 70, how many? 6?
79.
79 patriots are in jail for standing up for your country, just from Ohio. That is not including all the other states. They're still taking them to jail. They're political prisoners. And I'm going to tell you what, if Donald Trump don't win this year, I'm going to tell you, we're screwed. I'm just gonna put it real for you. We're done. But he can't do it by himself. He cannot do it by himself. We the people of America has to stand behind Donald Trump and help him save this country. Make this country great again. He cannot do it by himself. Everybody wants to say, oh my God, Trump's going to make America great again. He can't do it by himself, people. We the people, the true patriots in this country, has to help him. We have to stand behind him and help him. Hopefully he's still alive during the election. Hopefully he's still alive. I've been saying it for years. They're going to do anything they can to silence Donald Trump. Anything. Whether it be impeaching him, convicting him, 34 felonies. Baby, I'm voting for a felon.
Amen.
They couldn't win that way. The American people just poured in some money to Donald Trump's campaign when he got those 34 felonies, correct?
That's right.
I want to tell you that they're scared. They're scared of being exposed for the corruption that's going on in this country. I'm going to tell you that the Democratic Party is corrupt. They're all corrupt. I want to say one thing. That if I'm America first. America first. There's no other way to be. If you are a true patriot, it's 100% America first, right now. We can worry about these other countries when our country is great again, correct? So, America first. That's what we have to do to fix this country. I'll tell you, if there was a Democrat in office, running for office, that's going to make our country great, that's going to fix it to where it was when I was born, how I grew up, I'd vote for him. 100%. But that ain't the case. They want to sell us out to other countries. They want to give up on America, and I ain't ready. I will never die on my knees. Ever. I will never bow down to another man except for the man upstairs. Because I know where I'm going when I die. Hang me, shoot me, I don't give a damn. I'm still going to heaven.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know how much longer I got up here, but by God, I'll tell you what, I can talk all day. We're good. I got about another 10 minutes, or I could get up here a couple more times. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you all about it. Come on. You know that these J6ers have been beaten. They've been put in solitary confinement for days and days. Do you know that most of them Didn't even go to court for how many days, Sherry?
Some of them over 3 years.
3 years. Where's the due process? Where's the legal system that this country has? Where is it at for them patriots? They just gave up on them?
Patriot Act, brother. George W. Bush. Thank you for that.
There you go.
It's got nothing to do with judicial. They're above the Constitution. That's the Patriot Act.
We got to get back to the constitutional republic, and that's what the man over there just said, I'm pretty sure. Constitutional republic. This is no. Oh, they're stealing our country. They're selling it off to other countries. We're being silenced. Jerry Robertson on YouTube. Check her out. She's being silenced. 1776 on YouTube. 1776 MG Media on YouTube. That's me. Hello. HML Media on YouTube. Glory be freedom. She's running around here somewhere. Sapphire Patriot. Gator Girl on YouTube. I want you to go look up Oreo Express
There you go.
on Rumble, because he's not on YouTube no more. You know why?
Censorship.
They took him off of YouTube, canceled his channel. Go look up First Amendment Media on Rumble. You know why? On Rumble instead of YouTube.
Censorship.
Same damn thing. They took them off of there because they're exposing what's going on in our country. During the Take Our Border Back convoy that I was part of, we went to Texas. We did our thing in Texas. Me and Oreo Express and First Amendment Media. No,
Taco Joe.
Taco Joe.
First responder media.
First Responders Media. Sorry. I got them mixed up with Matt. Sorry. Either way. First Responders Media on Rumble. We went from Texas to San Diego down the border. And those guys have been doing it for years. It was my first experience. Sasabee, Arizona. We pulled up. There's a big old mud hole. Taco Joe's car wouldn't make it, so we all piled in my pickup. We went through that mud hole at a high rate of slippery speed. But anyways, we got out there to this camp. There was 300 illegals that just crossed over our border in the middle of the night. Some of you guys watched that stream. I'll guarantee you, one of the scariest things I've ever done in my life, because you don't know nothing about these people. These other countries are opening their jails, their prisons, and sending them here to a city near you. You know what we did? We stood there and videotaped these guys, live stream. You know what the Border Patrol did? They came and picked them up. They came and picked them up. They took them to a processing center, put them on a bus or a plane, and send them to a city near you, just like I just said. All the way down the border. Do you know how trashed our southern border is? There is garbage. It's sad.
Don't forget the bodies.
Sad. These people are being killed on their way through. They're being raped. They're being just abused the whole way through. I interviewed one guy after we went to San Diego and Oreo and then went home. I interviewed a guy. I went back to Coomba, California, and I interviewed a guy. He said he came from Russia. I don't believe it, but hey, either way. He said he paid $19,000 to get to our country. He said he came here because his country, the government, is corrupt. I said, you came to the wrong place. You're at the wrong place because our government's corrupt too. I bet worse than y'all's. And I posted that video. I posted that video on my TikTok. I know some people don't like TikTok, but it's got about 500,000 views. I signed up for this creator rewards program on TikTok, right? TikTok, I'm going to tell you, they are the most silencing app I could imagine. I signed up for this creator rewards program. If you get 100,000 views within 30 days, you can sign up for this. So I got the 100,000 views off of that video. Guess what? That goes against their community guidelines. That's some bullshit in my book. All I did was interview this guy and ask him how much he paid to come to our country illegally. That day they was all standing in the rain. They was hiding in the porta potties. They was shipping them out. Oreo Express on Rumble, they was shipping them out off the border into your country in the porta potty. They're coming here by the thousands every single day. It's sickening. It's an invasion on our country. If you want to come to our country, come in through the door. If somebody's going to come into your house, do you want them to come in through the window or the door? They better not come in through my window, I guarantee you that. The last thing they're going to see is a naked white fat guy in their life. I promise you. Either way, we'll get away from that because I'm a pretty good looking dude. But anyways, it's crazy. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's absolute chaos what's happening on our southern border, and it's not even like. I watched it on Oreos, I watched it on Taco Joe's, I watched it on all these other streams. But the reality hits when you get down there and you see the chaos on our southern border. And it's not even just the southern border now. They're coming in from Canada. They're flying them in on an airplane. You know what it took me to fly the other day? It took me an ID.
That's right.
Guarantee you. None of them's got a United States ID, right? So why doesn't that same rule apply? The government wants them here. And there is a reason the government wants them here. I don't know if I can say what the reason is, what I think the reason is, because there's my live stream and I don't know if I want it shut down yet. They are here. I'm just going to say it. I don't give a damn. YouTube, cancel me, I don't care. I will go protest your business on Rumble because they're a free speech platform. But anyways, they're here to bring
Chaos.
war on our country. They're here to eliminate us. Do you guys realize that? Nobody realizes that until you've been down there. I'm a good guy. I'm from Morocco. I'm from Venezuela. All this other. You came in through the wrong door.
Let them in the window.
They came in through the wrong door. They came in through the back door.
All men.
All military-aged men. But I did see a lady down there. Let me mind you, I got a 1-year-old little baby. He's with his mama because he don't go to nobody else right now because he loves his mama and he loves his groceries. But anyways, I was down there and I seen this lady come around my truck. And she had a little baby with her. It was the saddest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. Our government is doing this. They are calling those people over here. What did that little baby have to go through to get here? Who knows? Who knows what they experienced? But then, okay, so I left the southern border. I went to Denver, Colorado. They're lining the streets in Denver, Colorado. Imagine that, it's a blue state. They're lining the streets in Denver, Colorado. They're shutting down old folks' homes in Denver, Colorado to house illegals.
Right here.
It's the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. They're standing out on the street corners with stolen, let me mind you, squeegees and water bottles, trying to wash people's windows. I pulled up and I told them, you touch my car, I'm going to do something, because I'm not the one. You shouldn't even be in my country. I went out there and interviewed them people. It's crazy. These hotels, Wyndham Rewards, Comfort Suites, all these hotels are shutting down their hotels for the American people to house illegal immigrants.
Treason.
I walked into the hotel. I tried to get a room.
We should be running.
Can you get a room in the hotel? No. No, this is for them only. Who's paying that bill? Whose dollars are paying that hotel? The American tax dollars paying that bill.
That's right.
I went around back of one of them. I was just driving through all casually, right? I seen in this window, I was like, oh my God. They had food, clothes, everything you can imagine in a hotel room, like stacked up like, it was a whole room was full of all this stuff. I went in there and put it on my live stream. I told the American people about it. These hotels in Denver, Colorado, and all over your country, especially New York too, are just supplying this. No, it's not the hotels. They're getting paid to do it by our federal government. It's sickening. It's ridiculous. All right. They're shutting me down again. This guy wants to silence me. I'm going to protest him. God bless you guys. Thanks for listening to me. Stay nutty. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. So your options are almost open.
He'll be back later, don't worry.
Thank you, Big D!
All right, next we have John Sensor and Angela Shirk coming on up. Jeremy Dieter, you're coming next, so be ready.
Hey everybody! Some of you may know me, some may not. I'm Angela RN. I'm not the one speaking really today. I'm only here to introduce my new friend. I didn't get a chance to meet him in Hagerstown because I was too busy running the med trailer along with a lot of other patriotic nurses and EMTs and such. But this is John Sensor, and he's been the man behind the flag. If you guys remember the flag that was flown in Indiana, yes, with the truckers convoy, and the one that was flown in Hagerstown, well, this is the man behind the flag. I want to introduce John Sensor. Freedom!
Thank you, Angela. The great Rush Limbaugh once said, "When are we going to see pushback?" And what we're doing here these 3 days, I believe, is pushback. We're pushing back against seeing people dressed in black, burning the American flag, busting windows. And it was in the summer of 2020 when I lost my job because of COVID. And on TV, all these people were burning things, and there was riots going on, burning flags. And my brother said to me, "I know somebody who owns the world's largest American flag." And he says, "What if we rented it?" I said, "Hey, that sounds like a good idea." So we rented it, and we heard Trump was going to be up in Christie Gnome's part of the woods there at Mount Rushmore, and we didn't know anybody. And we drove in to South Dakota and just started asking people, is there a space, land? And we found some land, and to make a super long story, when you do stuff like this that promotes American patriotism, love of country, liberty, freedom, you find there's a lot of resistance. And we did have that, but we did prevail, and we unfurled that flag. And just to give you an idea with this flag here, how big this flag was, the flag is 3,000 pounds. It takes 4 football fields of space to be able to unfurl it. And you can't do it if the wind's blowing more than 25 miles an hour. And we decided to do it at night. And we parked vehicles and trucks all around, turned the headlights on. And our goal was to unite people, to unite in light. And I call it the hourglass figure. You know what an hourglass looks like? Well, in the center, that's where the American flag is. And we have different politics, different nationalities, different religions. We come from different parts of the country, but we're all Americans. And we all unite tight and we turn on a flashlight or a cell phone light, we think about someone special in our life, and we walked under the flag and illuminated it. That flag was crying out, illuminate me, illuminate me. And what did we hear? The thunderous roar of liberty, freedom. So everybody walked under there, illuminating that flag, holding their cell phone light up. And that's what we're going to do tonight here, out on the field. And we need all of you to come out to help hold the flag. It takes, this one is a smaller flag than the world's largest American flag, but it's still a large flag. And we need around 60 people to hold it. And if it's being held, well, pull out your cell phone light, and after the lady sings the national anthem, you'll be invited to walk under the flag and walk through the procession, the hourglass concept. But it's all about uniting. And Trump has talked about that. He says unity and peace. And by doing this, I was a maintenance man at a YMCA camp in Nebraska for 22 years, and I purchased this flag because this is just my little niche of contributing. And by doing this, the other side, the enemy's advancing, and the other side is going to see this, and they hate this. They don't want to see this. But this type of action is showing them that there are patriots. We do love this country, and we do love this flag. See you in the light.
Thank you, John. Hope to see you out there on the field tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Jeremy Dieter, come on up. Ramp on that side. We're going to have Brian Harbaugh following Jeremy, and then, gosh, it looks like we're going to be getting ready for cornhole at 4 o'clock. Jeremy Dieter.
All right. If you have a live stream up here, there's a good chance you're going to want to go ahead and shut it off. That way your account doesn't get canceled if you're concerned with that. I'm not going to pull any punches. I don't believe it would make any sense to do so. If you see, if you've been paying even bad attention in America, you can pretty well see what time it is and where we're at. And it's been, through all of the speakers that have come up here before me, they've pretty much covered everything, from the fact that the American people have been betrayed. We have more than ample evidence, whether you're looking at J6, whether you're looking at the Gretchen Whitmer Fednapping plot, where that stupid man-faced lady tried to kidnap herself and blamed it on me and my friends. There's a lot of different little conspiracies like this. We still have people locked up from the Mount Air Wildlife Refuge Center. We still have people locked up from Sugar Pine Mine. We still have people locked up from the Vegas standoff. There are patriots all through this country that are locked up, while less than 72 hours ago, our Liberty Bell was covered in graffiti that said pro-Hamas rhetoric and slogans. So I can't imagine what it would be like to be a veteran and have served this nation, especially in a combat capacity, and then look and see that they're tearing down your American flags in your nation's capital while they're desecrating the bell. That, these are, and if you look, and we are, by the way, supposed to believe that all of this is coincidence, in case you weren't aware of that. Look at what's happening in France. They voted for a conservative leader, so they were robbed of their vote by the liberal parties coming together. That way they had a larger majority in numbers and they could assume control. But in the interim, France, this is like the Reichstag building for the French people. A lot of their arts has been desecrated. The French obviously take that very seriously. When bombs were being dropped on France, they will brag to you the fact that they didn't fight back. They were hiding expensive glassware. They're French. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they are. They believe that they're the only superpower in the world because they weren't fighting back, they were hiding precious things. Americans are not going to be able to conceptualize the French idea. That was wise, sir. Well done. It's hard for us to grasp the European culture and customs. It's impossible for them to grasp ours. I want to give you guys a really good example. Freedom of speech. We talk about it a lot in this country, and the fact is you have
apologize,
no
you guys.
idea what it
I am
actually
going to
means.
go ahead and
Strangely.
shut down.
We're the ones that practice it more than anybody.
I can't afford
but if I
to
told you
get the
that
channel,
just in the span of time that I have been on
shut
this
down
stage, the
completely.
things that I have said
Love you all.
would,
Be back
not
later.
would get my children killed after being drug out into the streets. Now I want you to think about what I've said since I've been on this stage. Have my wife killed, have me killed, all in brutal ways. What did I say?